Hello, I'm Lynn and I'm one of Dr. Cohn's nurses, and I'm just going to give you a little information. I first off want to welcome you and congratulate you on your pregnancy. I'm going to go through a little bit of information. First and foremost, at your first visit we're going to give you a business card of Dr. Cohn's. But also, if you're on this website, you'll know how to get a hold of us. Our direct line is 713-512-7846. That's Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and you can always reach us if you have an emergency or something doesn't seem right. After hours or on weekends, you will be able to call that number or any of our numbers, and you'll get the emergency phone number to call. And you can reach us. You'll always have someone you can talk to in case of an emergency. You should also get some pictures of your little baby. We're also going to give you a packet from Women's Hospital of Texas that will provide information about classes that are offered at the hospital. You will deliver at Women's Hospital. You can register for your delivery online. Their website is www.womenshospital.com, and you can register online. You can also click to classes, and you are able to register for classes. There are a multitude of classes that you can look at. If you have older children, they really enjoy the sibling class. They're typically offered on Sunday afternoons. I've never heard anyone say they didn't like it or enjoy it. It's a fun time for them to be involved. The other classes, the breastfeeding classes, are very informative. Life with Baby Care class is very good, and the birthing class, there's also an infant CPR. All of the classes are optional. You can, if you decide you don't want to do any of the classes, then you would be able to go ahead and schedule a tour of the hospital. Typically, if you're going to do classes, it's good to try to look at a time sort of toward the end of your second trimester. And like I said, you can get online at www.womenshospital.com to look at those classes. And also, we will be giving you an information packet on your first visit. There's also a opportunity that you can get on pregnancyweekly.com /OGA. You can receive weekly pregnancy newsletters. They're free. You can click to a place where it says Dr. Cohn, and it'll give you little updates on where you're at in your pregnancy. Dr. Cohn will follow ACOG guidelines as far as offering tests and scheduling labs that need to be done. On your first visit, we will do several lab tests, no blood work typically, but then on your second visit we will typically do some blood work that ACOG recommends. And then there's some other testing that we will give you information about, one being cystic fibrosis. It's a genetic disorder. It's recessive, and if you're interested, we will give you the information on it, and you will be able to read about it. If you decide you want that testing, we would test mom first, and if mom was positive, meaning she was a carrier for cystic fibrosis, we would test dad, and if dad was positive, then we would talk to you about what all of that meant. But we will give you the information so that you can read through it and make a decision. It's an optional test, but it is one of those that we need to give you information about. Also, we give you information about genetic testing. As time goes on, there are more and more different tests that are offered. Currently, we have one that is about 90% accurate, and it remains non-invasive to you, to mom or baby, so there's no risk. It involves at 12 weeks an ultrasound, which looks at the nuchal fold, which is the fat pad of the neck of the baby, and then some blood work. And then at 16 weeks they would also draw more blood work from mom, and they combine all of that, and we get a 90% accuracy rate on what your risk of having a baby with Downs would be. There is a test that is 100% accurate, which is an amniocentesis, and you can read more about that as well. There's also, we will give you information about cord blood banking. And cord blood banking is something that is optional, but it is an opportunity for you to bank your baby's cord blood. It's done at the time of delivery, so you would have to decide prior to delivery if you wanted to do that, and we're going to give you some information while you're here. There's also a place on this website for that Dr. Cohn has a video that you can watch. He will give you information about it. And we will give you packets. The two cord blood banks that we're most familiar with are CBR and Viacord. We know they're reputable, and they both have wonderful websites that you can refer to, as well as where Dr. Cohn's video. And it'll give you information about why you might want to do that, and what the trend for the future in that regards would be. See here. When you come in, we will also be giving you a list of medications that you will be able to refer to. If it's during the day, you can always call and talk to one of the nurses, and we can discuss your symptoms and discuss what your best treatment options would be. If it's after hours or on a weekend, once you come in and we give you this list, you can refer to that, especially if it's a Saturday night. It'll give you a place that you can send your husband and go pick up something for congestion, or if you're unable to sleep, it gives you helpful hints, and you'll have that available to you as well. We'll also provide a book called Great Expectations that is an OB-GYN Associates book. In the book, we will go through this with you a little bit when you come in. Typically, with your pregnancy, we will see you every 4 weeks through approximately 25 weeks or 6 months, and then we will see you every 2 to 3 weeks for a couple visits, and then the last 4 weeks we will see you every week. Those last 4 weeks, Dr. Cohn will start checking your cervix. We will do gestational diabetic testing around 26 weeks, give or take a week or two, and we will also be doing an ultrasound between 18 and 20 weeks that will provide the sex of the baby if you want to know, and also tell us, looks at the anatomy and looks for anomalies. So that's between 18 and 20 weeks. In this book, it's also going to talk about weight gain and some changes that your body makes, and based on your weight, the average weight gain is going to be about 25 to 35 pounds during your pregnancy, and typically in the first part of your pregnancy, the first trimester, it's not uncommon to increase your caloric intake by about 150 calories, and then toward the second and third trimester about 300 calories. And so but it is important to do it gradually, and just basically to eat smart. There is some pages in here that'll also talk about nutrition, and it's a time where you should eat healthy. Small frequent meals are better tolerated oftentimes in pregnancy for a variety of reasons, and so when you're eating, you just want to look and see what kind of protein you're having. And also calcium is very important in pregnancy. We would tell you to be careful of mercury containing fish such as tuna, mackerel, swordfish, that sort of thing. You should limit your intake to 2 servings a week. You should stay away from raw meats, which would include sushi. We would tell you to drink lots and lots of water, at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Very important. As far as caffeine, 1 glass a day is fine. Oftentimes we'll even tell you if you have a headache to take 2 Tylenol with a little bit of Coke or a caffeinated drink. That oftentimes will help a headache.